I am so excited to be here. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Amazing, right? I just finished lighting my candles right now. Rabbi, you have a lot of candles behind you. It looks
Besi-
like,
that's actually the idea of fake news, of a fake picture. It's I'm a different place. But you know what, Dr. Faye? What is beautiful is that Alex began our meeting by amazing idea of increasing light, overcoming negativity with the light of Hanukkah. And I think it was really leading to your lecture, to your class.
yeah. Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. It's
Hi,
great.
Dr. Faye.
Hi, it's just wonderful. So, I just love lighting my Hanukkah candles because every time I light them, I remember that one thing that it is about being above nature. The eight days. Why 8 days? Because it gives us an opportunity to rise above our nature. And so I took upon myself for this week, as I mentioned the other night, I took upon myself this week that I was going to take different attributes about myself that maybe aren't that great, that I need to work on, because listen, you all have to keep working on ourselves always and forever. That's why we're here, right? To always make ourselves better, to look for the future, like Alex was saying, always to look forward to the future, not look back at the past, look forward to the future. I love that idea. So tonight, what was the so I created 8 battles for myself that I am fighting. They are just like the Maccabees did 8 days of battles. Every night I have a different idea in mind of what it is that I'm fighting for that night. So this night tonight, my inner battle that I'm fighting is about comparing myself to others. That I, it's just a natural thing that we all do from the moment that we're born, from the time that we're little kids. We always compare ourselves to others. As little kids in kindergarten, they come to school and they have a snack for their mommy, right? But what do they think? Or what did I think when I was in kindergarten? Oh, my snack is really good, but the other kid always had a better snack. No matter how great my snack was, I would always think, the other snack is a better snack. It's a very natural thing for us to do. We're constantly comparing ourselves to others. I have, for myself, for those of you who don't know, but I think everybody already knows, that I have a set of triplets. And in my triplets, 2 of them are girls. One of my daughters is named Ariella, and the other daughter is named Racheli. Yeah. So that's amazing, Alex. Ariella Racheli is actually the name of Alex's daughter, Ariella Rachel, which happens to be the 2 names of my twin girls, my 2 girls from my triplets, Ariella and Rachel. So now you would think that these 2 girls, that automatically twins are known actually for comparing themselves, for always feeling that the other one has it better. Children are like that. It's a natural phenomenon for children. Mom always liked you best. You have better clothes. You have a better snack. You have better nighttime. Everything always is comparing ourselves to our siblings. The miracle, the actual miracle of my triplets, and I always said this to them, is that for some reason, they got this incredible blessing from God that they never compared each other to each other. They just never did. They were very individual always. What one of them was good at, the other one was good at other things. And that for me, watching Ariella and Rachel, my Ariella and Rachel, Alex, yours. It's so funny. I'm looking at her on the screen and it's so distracting because she's just so cute. But the thing that I learned from Ariella and Rachel is that it's not about comparing ourselves to others. That even though it's our natural nature to compare, it's called comparisonitis. It's actually a thing, comparisonitis. You can't stop yourself. You can't help yourself. Is the other person as good looking as me? Is the other person as fit as me? Is the other person as physically attractive as myself. And what is the worst thing that that could be going on for us right now? Instagram. The worst. Social media is something that really hurts us in terms of our own self-esteem. Because let's say we say, I'm not going to compare myself to anybody. But the second you go on to social media, there you are. There's a person that's traveling around Spain and having a great time. There's a person who has a great girlfriend or boyfriend that's better than my girlfriend or boyfriend. There's a person who has a better wife or husband than the one that I have. Because what's happening? People post their best moments, and all you see on their Instagram or on their WhatsApp chat or wherever it is, all you're seeing is their best moment. And when you're seeing their best moment, you're thinking to yourself, wow, they have it better than I do. I have a story this is a really true story of a case that I was working with where two people were up in the mountains next door to each other. And one of the women, one of the two wives, one of the women was extremely upset because she said, my husband for the weekend, he comes home the second when I'm lighting candles. He walks in the door as I'm lighting candles, and there's another guy next door, the husband of my best friend, and he's here. He comes up on Thursday nights. And all day Friday, he's there playing ball with his kids, and he goes swimming with his kids. And her husband is so much better than my husband. And when my husband comes up, the first thing I say to him is, did you see Andrew next door? He has been up here since yesterday. He hasn't stopped playing with his kids. He's like can't you maybe try to be a little bit like Andrew and try to be a better husband, because he's really a great guy. Well, interestingly enough, what she didn't know was that Andrew and his wife were clients of mine because they were in the middle of catastrophe going on in their life. They were in debt over their heads. Their house was being repossessed. Their car was being repossessed. Their phones weren't even working. And everything that she thought was so wonderful for them, the reason Andrew had so much time to be there and play with his kids, because Andrew was unemployed. Now, if she only knew that Andrew was unemployed, and if she only knew how difficult someone else's life was, would she compare herself to them? Would she say, oh, wow, I wish I had their life? I think it is so important for us to keep in mind that what we see about other people is not the whole picture. All we're really getting is a tiny little snippet. And that little snippet is not something that's worthy of comparisonitis. It's just not, because having FOMO about being someplace, or having FOMO about wearing certain clothes, or having FOMO about having a certain car that someone else has, whatever you're seeing, it's not the full picture. So as I sat by my candles tonight, I was talking to myself. And in my talking to myself, I also have to talk to myself. Now, what do you do? If you're natural, it's natural. You're right. I'm saying it. It's a natural thing that we do. We compare ourselves to others, right? As I look at everybody here, even on our Zoom, we look at where they're living and what's going on. And somehow it looks a little bit better than what we're going through. One of my students this week came on a Zoom class, and it was a private one-on-one. We had a private one-on-one session, and she was just really falling apart. And I said to her, why are you falling apart? Look at you. You're in the best school in the world. You have your own apartment in Manhattan. You have everything going for you. Well, guess what? It wasn't the truth at all. I said, could you show me your workspace? Let me look at your apartment. She said, no, I'm not going to show it to you, because where I live is on this couch. I have a broken leg. I can't move. There are so many things that were not visible to the eye. Do you understand? From what it looks like for that moment, or in our little screen over here, all we're getting is it's what? A snapshot. That's why it's called snapshot. because it's not real. It's a make-believe snapshot. So here's the question that I asked myself as I was sitting by the candles, and I'm thinking, well, how do I rise above nature? How do I rise above nature and not compare myself to others? Well, if comparison is a natural state of being, why don't I compare myself to what I was a year ago? Why don't I compare myself to what I was 5 years ago? Why don't I compare myself to what I was 15 years ago? And if I do that comparison, if I compare myself to what I was and I think about what I am, well, you know what? That's a nice comparison. That puts a huge smile on my face because I've grown so much in 1 year. I've grown so much in 5 years. And if I think about, do I want to go back to the person that I was a year ago? No, because I've grown. I like the person that I am now much more. And it's interesting, right? Because here we are, we're going through COVID. I'm living upstate alone. And, I would never have believed that I could be living isolated, upstate, not in New York City, not going out all the time, Broadway shows, theater, dinner dates all the time with friends, right? I would never believe that I could actually be living upstate in a place where, how would I fill my time? And yet, I have grown so much from this experience. I've had time to read more. I have time to reflect more. I have time for mindfulness. I have time for prayer. I have time to really feel life. Today, it was snowing up here. I don't know that I ever enjoyed anything as much as just walking in the snow. And I think that we have to really think about that. We really have to think about, what do we have that we could have gratitude for? What do we have that we are so grateful for? And I think it's really important. So I want to just talk about for one more minute about the idea of comparisonitis. Let's go back to again, because I think it's important in order to get to a good place, in order to feel like I want to have gratitude for the life that I have now. I think you need to understand where you're coming from. What is bad about the other place? So let's talk about comparisonitis. What happens when we compare ourselves to somebody else? Okay, level one, the worst thing that could possibly happen. What? I hate the person. I hate them because I feel like they have more than I do. And that level one is really not a good thing. Okay. So let's say I move beyond level one and I don't hate them. I certainly, if I'm going to compare myself to others, level two would be that I'm going to be jealous of them. I'm going to be jealous of what they have and what I don't have. Not great. So I want to move away from level two. Level three is I'm neutral. Okay. So they have a nicer house. So they have a nicer car. So they have more friends than I do. So they have more this or more that, but I'm neutral to it. It's fine. They can have it. But let's say I move up. What could be level four that's positive? How about this? How about if I compare myself to somebody, but I really admire them? Let's say I compare myself to somebody and I take what they have and I admire it. Somebody who is, for instance, I admire people that are smart. I just love it. So for me to be able to study more, read more books, I am taking that admiration from what I'm seeing in the other person. I'm comparing myself to them, but I'm admiring them for it. And I want to do that also. Last week we talked about this because this actually happened. I hope that Rabbi Rosenfeld does not mind that I'm going to use an example of what happened with Rabbi Rosenfeld last week. So last week I was sharing with Rabbi Rosenfeld about all the Shabbatons that are going on up here, upstate, and how they're just growing and growing, and they're just so much fun, and they're just great. And they're, for anybody that's listening, they are completely COVID safe. Thank God we haven't had any kind of incidences because people come with waivers of their COVID negativity. We practice social distancing. We wear masks. We're extremely, extremely, extremely careful. So I was sharing with Rabbi Rosenfeld all the fun that we are having at these Shabbatons. And I actually shared pictures with him. And you know what he said? He said, I'm really jealous of that you're able to do that, right? And did he really mean jealous? I think what he really meant was that he is admiring it. It is level 5. What's level 5? He's inspired by it. So I think that when we think about comparing ourselves to others, I think we have to think about admiring others and being inspired by others. I think, Rabbi Katzin, you want to add something on at this point? Not yet? Okay, but soon. So, because I want to hear what you have to say. Of course, we all want to hear what Rabbi Katzin has to say. Rabbi Katzin is a perfect example. Am I going to be jealous of Rabbi Katzin because he has so many people that love him, love him? No, but I am going to admire it and I'm inspired by it. I'm inspired by his love for doing kindness for other people. I'm inspired by his positivity. Rabbi Katzin talks a lot about that. What is his one flaw? I wish I had that flaw. His flaw is that he can't say no. Can you imagine someone saying that my flaw is that I can't say no? All of us, that's what we do. We say no too quickly. Can I borrow this? I don't really know. I really may need it right now. It's not such a good time for me to lend it to you. Can I talk to you on the phone? I don't know. I really have a lot of things to take care of right now. It's not a great time for me. Can I come over for dinner? Tonight's not really such a great night. I have a lot of other people coming over and I don't know if I have room for you. But Rabbi Katzin says, what does Rabbi Katzin says? My one flaw is that I cannot say no. What does that mean? Can I come over for dinner? Yes. Do you have time to talk to me? Yes. Do you have time to learn with me? Yes. That is something. Am I jealous of that? Yes. But on the other hand, I admire it. And I'm inspired by it. So I want to add one more thing on that's actually from our Torah, from our holy, holy Torah. It says that God does not give you anything that you cannot accomplish. In other words, any tests that you are given are tests that were designated for you. If you're running low on money, that test is a test that will only make you a better person. You're going to be creative and figure out, well, how am I going to make more money? Or does it really matter? Do I really need that? If your friend gets angry at you and that's your test, well, you know what? That is meant for you at that time. Whatever happens to you, it is meant for you. It's not like God makes a mistake and he says, oh, you know what? I'm going to make this person go through this particular challenge, this particular difficulty. And then, oh, I just realized I gave that test to the wrong person. That challenge should have gone to the other person. No. That challenge that you have, the fact that I am challenged. What's my challenge? It's a really big challenge, right? I was married to a great, amazing, amazing person. What happened to my partner in life? My partner in life got leukemia, and my partner in life suffered for 11 months with terrible, terrible, terrible leukemia. And I lost my partner in life, right? So as everybody is celebrating Hanukkah and holidays together with their partner in life, I'm not together with my partner in life. I'm alone, right? But that's my challenge. So my challenge is, well, I could sit at home and I could sit in front of my candles and I could cry and think, wow, I remember when he lit my candles for me. I remember when we sang Maoz Tzor together, right? But I could cry now, but I don't. Because why? Because it's about positivity. It's about looking at it from a different angle. What's the angle? The angle is that I have the opportunity to light those candles by myself. I'm getting the opportunity of saying the blessing by myself. I'm scoring points because I feel like I don't need, I could be watching a movie. I could be running out for a walk. I could be doing anything. But you know what? I am choosing to be there to light my candles. And those candles, they give back to me. They light up, they light up my life. They light up my life. They give me the opportunity to think, to meditate, to self-contemplate, and to think about that I am a growing person and that I'm better than I was last year. I'm better than I was 2 years ago. And I feel that I've gone beyond nature. I feel like I'm a miracle. It's a miracle that I can stand in front of my candles and sing Ma'osor happily and think, wow, this is really a nice way for me to be connecting with God, to be connecting and to carry it up. So I think all of us are given challenges and we can decide, we can say, well, I'm going to go down with the ship, or we can keep that smile on our faces and we could say, I'm not going down with the ship. I'm building more ships. I'm creating more ships. I'm making life better. I want to spread the happiness. I want to be the one that inspires people. I want to be like Rabbi Katzin. I want people to admire me and I want them to be inspired by me. And when I do these Shabbats and everybody comes here and we sing and we dance and it's such a beautiful, beautiful escape from New York City, I'm so happy that I have the opportunity to share those hours together with everybody. It's just an amazing experience. But you know, everybody's got choices. Comparisonitis. You can do the comparison and let it bring you down and let it make you be jealous of people and it not be a positive way. Or you can have comparisonitis and look at it and say, this is my challenge. This is what I have. And I'm going to become a person that is going to be admired. I'm going to become a person that's going to inspire others. And guess what? All of us can do it. If you stop for a moment, and think to yourself for one moment, what is it in your life, think for a minute, that you are grateful for? What is it in your life that you are grateful for? What do you have in your life that if somebody looked at you, they would be jealous? Think for a moment. It could be anything. It could be your smile. It could be the way you think. It could be the way you tell a joke. It could be the way you sing. It could be the way you look. It could be how kind your eyes are. What is it? What is it that you are grateful for about yourself? And I think it's a very important question. Okay, so I want to put it together for a moment, and I want to talk about. I just want to like draw all of our information together over here, right? So it's a natural experience to compare yourself to others. What am I suggesting? I suggest that if you have to compare yourself to others, do it in a way that creates somebody that you admire and somebody that you are inspired by. And that person can be yourself. You can be your own awesome. You can think of yourself as being the greatest person. I'm inspired by myself. I'm so grateful for who I am. I'm so grateful that I can be a smiling person. I'm so grateful that I am a person that's kind to others. And that could be what is great about you, that you are unique, that you are an awesome person. I think also, Rabbi Katzin, I would love to hear from you for a moment.
What you would like to hear?
I would like to hear from you what you and I spoke about earlier. We talked about things that we have to be grateful for. We spoke about being grateful today.
I think to take your thoughts and your direction is that naturally jealousy is an expression of not appreciating yourself. And the more you appreciate yourself, the more you respect yourself, the more you respect your uniqueness and everything you have in your life, then the less you need to look the other way or to look elsewhere. So really, it begins with kind of building your own self-esteem.
Yes, and also today you actually brought up something that really spoke to me, which is what we are going through right now. A simple thing like COVID. People are going to hospital and or were is, people are. And why? Because they can't catch their breath. We spoke earlier today. We spoke about, are we grateful for the fact that we could breathe? Are we grateful enough for it? Do we say thank you that I can breathe, that I'm not on oxygen? So I think what Rabbi Katzin is saying is a very good point. When we compare ourselves to others and we think that other people have it better than we do, what are we really saying? We're really saying that I'm not good enough. It really is about our self-esteem. We're saying that other people have it better because they're better than we are. I think it's a thought that we have to think about, that it's not so. No one is better than you are. Nobody. You are the best.
Well, Hanukkah also is a time of showing appreciation. So actually, we were talking about showing appreciation to Hashem and people for anything we have, everything we have, for people we love, for health we have. Because sometimes we appreciate only when we lose. So let's appreciate and enjoy and rejoice while we have something before we lose it.
Yeah. So Rabbi, do you think that if somebody appreciates their health and they appreciate their breath and they appreciate that the religion that they were born into and the family that they're born into, do you think that when we are full of gratitude, we're not busy comparing ourselves to others? If you're happy with yourself, then you think that you are the best.
Well, it means that you don't necessarily need to compare and say you're better than others. I think, for many, many years, I used to say Sinai Academy is the best school, but not because we're better than any other school. We are the best because we are better every day. I love your idea of comparing, but not to others, but appreciating the progress you made last year and today and every day. So in other words, be jealous of your potential. You can be jealous of someone else's life, but instead be jealous of what you can be and be all you can be.
I love what you're saying, Rabbi. I love what you're saying, because you're saying two things. You're saying, number one, compare yourself to your past and realize how lucky you are that you are now where you are, and be jealous of your future, of the
potential, of your potential.
Of your potential. Be jealous of your potential. I love that idea, because then other people don't come into the picture. Then you're the picture. You're comparing yourself to your past self, and you're jealous of the potential that you have in your future.
You know the difference between us and the Greeks? Greeks celebrate Olympic Games. We as Jews don't need Olympic Games, because we think that comparing people and the competition of two people that come from completely two different worlds and backgrounds, and maybe even natural gifts and talents, is not a true competition. A true competition is only a person with himself.
I love that. I love that. Actually, that's resonating for me a lot, because since I'm a swimmer, right? So I swim laps, and very often I used to compare myself to the girl that was swimming next to me in the other lane. And she's like a power swimmer and just shooting along. And then I realized, why am I comparing myself to her? I'm better off comparing myself to myself. So when I knew that in 1 hour I was able to do 80 laps, once I got to 90 laps, I was so happy because I was comparing myself to myself. And that makes so much more sense because I was comparing myself to a 19-year-old girl who was on a swim team. And now at least I was comparing myself to me doing 90 laps and then, oh, wow, I'm doing more. I'm doing more. So I love what you're saying. I think
More than I can
comparing
do.
ourselves to ourselves is so much better. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So
Julia wanted to say something.
yeah, Julia.
No, I said that's more than I can do. And I'm a 30-year-old, and you can do more laps than me. So there you go.
I was just using an example, Julia.
Uh,
Julia, you are by far the best.
oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
If you had to think of one thing, because I could think of 10 of them for you, but if you had to think of one thing about yourself that you're grateful for, what is that one thing about you that you are great? Only if you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, you kind of gave me this opportunity to see it because you asked me to do something. So I think it's just the way I can capture people with my power of speech through my verbally and through my writing skills.
Yeah. Yeah, your writing skills. I mean, the way you describe things are incredible. I've seen it time and time again, and I am just in awe of how beautiful you write, how descriptive it is. And it really makes you, when I read what you write, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm in the moment with you. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, your things were the inspiration for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're having more. It looks like a lot coming up. I know. They're great, great weekends. They're just wonderful.
Yeah.
Alex, do you want to share what you're grateful for?
Sure, absolutely. So I think the greatest thing I'm grateful for is just having so many opportunities to learn and grow. I was thinking about the class that we had last week, and specifically your story, Dr. Faye, about your daughter coming with her family, and staying for Shabbos Hanukkah, and having all this planned, and then it didn't happen because unfortunately the family got sick. So and you taught us how that experience could be viewed from different lenses, right? It could be viewed from a positive lens or from a negative lens, and it's our choice how we decide to view it. I think it's just a matter of stopping ourselves and just really grounding ourselves that being aware that we have two different ways to react, and the reaction is going to be our choice as much as we could control it. So I would say it was such a pertinent example because I think tonight we were also invited to spend a Hanukkah dinner with a family that lives nearby, and that we've been friendly with for several years, and we've spent Hanukkah with them for like 3 consecutive years. And right before dinner, like earlier today, got a call, and the son unfortunately also tested positive for COVID, and as a result they didn't have us, and I could have reacted just being upset, depressed, like asking why, right? Or knowing that there's a reason why, for whatever reason, we can't spend this beautiful Hanukkah night with them, and knowing that there's a greater reason, there's a positive reason for that. So I would say the thing that I'm grateful the most is having so many beautiful opportunities to learn, to grow, and actually to put what I learned into practice.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is great.
Yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful story. It's great. It's a gift to be able to do that. It's or training. It's a skill. Let's call it a skill that you can learn. People say, are you born positive, or is it something that you create? I really believe that it's something that you create. I think the more you do it, the more you keep looking at things from a positive perspective, the more it becomes easy. It honestly, it really becomes easy. It's almost hard to get angry and to be ungrateful. So it's really conditioning. It's just, keep conditioning yourself about thinking good thoughts, about looking at things from a positive perspective, and it just happens naturally. I love that story. Thank you, Alex, for sharing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Irina, are you going to share with us? What are you grateful for?
Give me 1 second. There's a lot of background noise. You want to go to the next person first?
Okay, yeah. We're grateful for your great smile. We're so grateful for your great smile. Irina Simha, you are amazing. Does anybody else want to share what they are grateful for on Hanukkah?
I can go.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us.
First of all, hello. It's nice to see you again. I'm grateful for
you.
my family and our health and everything that we have that's non-materialistic and materialistic.
Sophia, thank you so much for sharing, because I think that's really major for us to really be very thankful and grateful for our families.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Leora, you want to say something? Leora, Dr. Fay, you see Leora?
I do.
Leora, how are you?
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, here, guys. It's been way too long. I loved what you said about, when you look at someone else and maybe they have more money than you, or they live in a nicer place. That's not yours, that's not for you to compare yourself to their stuff. And that's really not the Jewish way. We don't have a scarcity mindset. Hashem provides everything for us that we need, and the tests that we need too. I love that you said that. It really resonated with me. And I am grateful for my family, my friends, having a job during this pandemic, and having just creative ways to work and keep myself entertained. And I'm just grateful for all the people in my life and everything that Hashem provides for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good to see you. It's amazing. You look wonderful.
Great.
You look beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Fay. How are you? It's Ari. Happy Hanukkah. Hi. It's been a long time. Thank you. I was watching on Facebook Live, and then I was like, let me sign up to the Zoom because I wanted to share this. First of all, I think it was a really nice class. Also, thank you, Rabbi Katzin. I like what you said about the school, because a lot of times, you hear people say like, we're the best show, or we're the best, gym, or we're the best this or that. But maybe somebody's better another way. But I like what you said, that maybe like we're the best in what we do, that we try to be better. Also, I wanted to say, like, I was listening to you saying about the Shabbatons. So I think with like the jealousy thing is like this. Like when you hear that, you could be like, hey, you could get jealous. You could be like, hey, listen, I wanted to go to Shabbaton for a month, and there's Shabbatons going on. That's I'm jealous that I can't go. Or I feel like you could do what I did, is like, wow, I really admire these people, because even though when nothing is really going on and people are like down and feel like the world's coming to an end, there's people out there that are like really pushing themselves. And even though they could just like maybe just be by themselves, because a lot of people are not working, they're pushing themselves to like still bring people together. And like, I think to admire, you could be like, hey, listen, maybe I should just, maybe also do something too, or try to get people together, and not just like, because there's so many people that are like down, lonely. So like, maybe by hearing something like that, instead of getting jealous, be like, hey, admiring, and be like, hey, maybe I could also do something like that. So I really like that.
Yeah, Aria, I'm so glad you brought that up. But I do want to tell you that even though we're getting together, it's really under very, very strict circumstances. We're being incredibly careful. Like if there was actually somebody over here from my neighborhood that wants to come join us, but they did not take the COVID test or have the waiver. So the problem was that, no, as much as we wanted to be together with that person, it was not a good idea. So yeah, it's great that we're going together. Don't be jealous.
No. I'm saying no. That's the thing. Honestly, I'm saying the complete opposite. I'm saying I'm admiring. Nothing about jealousy. Absolutely, just the opposite. I'm saying I'm admiring that you came with a way to basically, like to do it smart, to do it safe. That people bring tests. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that's like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Yeah.
We'd love you to join us. We'd love you to join us.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think we're good. I think Irina Simcha, you wanted to join.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you? I'm grateful and I appreciate me waking up every morning, because every morning gives you a new chance to make decisions, to make your life better, to make somebody smile, to create something new. So I think that way you're able to create new relationships, keep in touch with, you're already friends and you're already family, but expand the horizons. So I think like waking up in the morning, that kind of is the umbrella, like the top of the umbrella, which subdivides into every aspect of life.
That is so beautiful. I love what you're saying really also resonates for me, because I love that when I wake up in the morning, I feel so grateful for the sunlight and for the beautiful air. And yeah, it's something to really be grateful for.
Yeah.
Dr. Faye, I also want to thank Irina so much for always inspiring people to join classes and being real leader. It's something beyond. You say that I don't know how to say no, but I'm learning. But Irina is amazing. I want to thank Irina once again, because our class is really because of your leadership and inspiration. Thank you so much. I appreciate so much that you and Yuri are married, a wonderful couple, and we're so happy about it. And Dr. Faye, I'm so happy because you gave us such an amazing topic to discuss, and Irina spoke about decisions. And I think she actually inspired us to think that jealousy is natural, as you said, but the choices we make about jealousy is ours. We can choose and be jealous of something small, like things, right? Like money, like fame, like other things. Or we can choose and be jealous of something great, like wisdom, like good deeds, like kindness. We can look Dr. Faye and say, I am jealous. She's welcoming people for Shabbos, for Shabbatons, upstate. We would also like to do what you do. So I think this why jealousy is a source of progress, and we all want to be like you.
You know what? I'm so happy that I have the opportunities to do it. It's just so much fun. You know what they say: a king is not a king without all of his people.
Right.
So I'm not a hostess without all of my guests.
But we appreciate you. We appreciate you very much that we can come to you for Shabbos and come to you even now, even though we are, distance, but we're together nevertheless.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I think Alex wanted to add on.
Sure. Yeah, I just wanted to add on. I think the ideas that we heard so amazing and kind of summed up in this anecdote that you always hear, about a guy passing away and goes up to heaven, and over there he encounters an angel and kind of like recounts his life story, and tells the angel, hey, my life was was okay. Like I made sure that I followed all the mitzvahs. I did all the right things. And the angel says, okay, fine. So like, you know, where do you want to go from there? It's like, well, you know, maybe I wish I had maybe a better life, like maybe a little better of a job, a little more money in my pocket, you know, and so on and so on. So the angel takes the you know, the soul into the room, and he says, you know what, why don't we give you a second try? So here are all the bags, and you know, these are all the lives that haven't been created yet, and you get to choose you know, the bag that you want, what you want your life to look like. And of course, what bag does he choose? Chooses his own life. So I think, you know, as much as we could say, yeah, absolutely, we're influenced by others, you know, there is, you know, looking at like the way you started with someone else is driving, how someone else is living, whether, you know, someone has a large family, a large group of friends, and so on and so on. But the bottom line, the line is, the life that we're living now is the best life that we could possibly have, and it's also the only life that we could possibly have. So might as well make it the best life that we could have.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. I love that. I've heard that so many times, and I really do believe that it's true. I really do believe that given our choices, we would not want to have somebody else's life.
Right.
I love the life I have, and I think all of us here, we really love the lives we have, but we have to really self-reflect, and we have to think about it and not take it for granted, and be very, very grateful for the things that we have, because we don't want to be grateful after it's gone. It's not like I want to appreciate it after I don't have it anymore. I want to appreciate it here and now. And, you know, I love to think about my mother, who's 92 years old, and that I really do appreciate her. I try to really give her every moment of happiness that I possibly can, because I don't want to be here at a time that she's not here and say, I should have done more. I should have done more. And I will never have to feel, because I know that I'm doing everything I can possibly do to make her happy. So I think it's very important to appreciate what we have before we, God forbid, lose them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. That was great.
Yeah,
Great closing sentence.
Sorry, if I could just add on one more thing. So in a way, I mean, this is like really bad, but you know, there are things that I'm grateful for that happened during COVID. You know, for example, you know, one thing that I don't think would have happened otherwise is as I'm growing, you know, in my Judaism, and as I'm you know, taking step by step on my Jewish journey. So, you know, things have gradually come to me, right? Like we gradually started to keep kosher, gradually started to keep Shabbat, and so on and so on. But I think in terms of prayer and like having the mitzvah to pray 3 times a day, like before when we were working, it was very, very hard to do. You know, have to be in the office way before any minyan around my area finished. And you know, with COVID, like, you know, something that kind of happened, but something that I pursued is, you know, being able to pray 3 times a day. And as I discovered through doing that, and through listening through the different prayers that are part of Chakras, there's one prayer that's part of the Psukei de Zimra, and it's basically it's a Psalm of David, Psalm number 100, Mizmor Lesodo, right? And the art scroll, when it gives a brief description of the prayer, and it says, you know, in this prayer, we're thinking about not just the things that we have, and not just like things that we consciously acknowledge God protects us against, and how, you know, we should be grateful for the things that we acknowledge we have, but we should also be grateful for things that we can't even acknowledge that we have, or can't even acknowledge that, you know, that the challenges that haven't happened to us or are not happening to us, because, you know what, like we could have it so much worse. And like I think, yes, being able to say, hey, I'm grateful for gift of eyesight, right, which is one of the morning blessings that we say. You know, I'm grateful that I have another chance, like Irina said, when we wake up every single morning, you know, we say, thank you, God, like I have another chance at life. I have another way to build and to like establish myself and to live the best life I could possibly live. So I would encourage, take advantage of this time of COVID. Obviously, very hard. People are struggling with jobs, with family, just staying inside. But what I would recommend is even taking upon like one little psalm or one little or one additional prayer. I think it's worthwhile because it gives you a whole new sense of gratitude, a whole new sense of appreciation for what you do have.
Alex, Rabbi, what can I
I
say?
should stop.
Alex, this is really a perfect example of the student becoming the teacher. And you're so good at it. It's so fun listening to you.
I'm grateful for being a product of my environment. So thank you, Rabbi Katzin. Thank you, Dr. Faye.
It's amazing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faye. Thank you, Alex, and we appreciate everyone. Tatiana sent a message that she appreciates being part of Rage, and Tatiana, we appreciate you being part of Rage, and everybody, we really, really appreciate you all. Dr. Faye, thank you so much for another wonderful class.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Good night. Happy Hanukkah.
Bye. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah to everyone.
See you
Great to
soon.
see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.